it's Brendel, and today we are going to be checking out our June budget. First, I kind of wanted to show you the book that I use to keep track of all this. I don't really talk about it much, but I use a Erin Condren monthly planner. I did the custom cover. I believe this was like a wedding one, but I thought it was really pretty. I kept the standard silver because that didn't bother me. I haven't wrote anything in there. And this is the neutral one. So each of the monthly tabs are just gray. There's also a colored one, so then each one is a different color. And if you flip to a month, it will have the monthly calendar, and then it will have a dashboard, which I put the debt tracker on this one. And then I do put the budget notes right here. I track YouTube statistics over here. And then the next page, it'll have the June budget, our sinking funds, our weekly check-in, and then there's a few others here if you wanted to add anything, like if you did paycheck to paycheck budgeting. I do have an older video that shows how I break out our bills per the 2 paychecks that we get in the month, because my husband and I both get paid near the beginning of the month and then around the middle. So here's our first 2 and then our second 2. We're a bi-monthly pay schedule, but maybe I'll do an updated video because it has been quite a while since I've done one of those. But for now, we're just going to get into the actual budget. So to start off on here, I do combined our income. And then from there, we have our fixed expenses and variable expenses. And then I have this little section down here. So that is just for any little extras that we have for the month. So back up here on fixed expenses, we have our mortgage. Next, we have our RAV4. And then next we have braces, cleaning. We have our phone bill, internet, sewer and garbage, life insurance, and Netflix. And then in variable, we don't have very many because we have so many sinking funds. So our first category in our variable is for our sinking funds. Groceries is our next one. And restaurant. And then again, this section down here will be our extras, which is our debt payment. Back up at the top, we have our combined, and we like to budget our income as low as possible, and then if we get extra, which we typically do, then we can decide what we want to do with that extra. Usually determined on what goals we have or events that are taking place that month. So for combined, we expect at least $4,820. And we've been using the same number for 1.5 years now, and it's worked out well. We do, again, usually get more, and then that provides us a good safety net. So if we don't get any extra income, we know that as long as we get this amount, then we will have our bills paid. I forgot that I want this in black, so let me write over this real fast. I think I did this last month on one of them too. That's what I get for using too many pens. Okay, so next we have our mortgage, which is our home loan, our property taxes, and our homeowner's insurance. And so that comes out to $1,164. That usually only changes once a year when they reevaluate our escrow. That includes our property taxes. Next, we have our RAV4, which the minimum payment is $420. Our braces, well, my braces, we owe $189 a month to those. Cleaning, we get done once a month, and that is $135. Our phone bill is $132 each month. Our internet, for June at least, is $65. We did change internet companies last month, and so this month is prorated for last month, and then it includes June. And then there was a $15 handling fee. So next month it will be $30. So for sewer and garbage, that is $72 a month. Life insurance is $38, and Netflix is $9. So our total for fixed expenses is $2,224. And then for our variable expenses, we have sinking funds, which we are putting $1,926. Groceries, we are keeping at $600 like we normally do. And then restaurant as well, we are keeping at $70. So those combined equals $2,596, which creates a zero-based budget. So we have an income of $4,820. If you subtract out $2,224 minus $2,596, we won't have any extra money. And so we haven't been planning on extra debt payments. We just like to take any extra money that we have at the end of the month and put that towards that. Last year when we did our budget, we had an extra debt payment. This year we decided to focus on our sinking funds, and then any extra debt payment that we've had goes toward that. We've done pretty well for this year, and so I'm not worried about not having a set amount going towards extra debt payment. Next, we'll move into our sinking funds, and we have a column for our starting balance, which would be the ending balance for May, which isn't quite wrapped up. Then we'll put our budgeted amount, which will total this $1,926, which, as you can see, is a big chunk of our budget. We do have another column of actual because throughout the month, this number will change and we'll have to add more. If we spend extra in a category, we always add enough to cover it because we don't like having the ending balance as a negative. They all are in one account, so even if the beauty budget goes in a negative, there's probably extra in another category so that the account itself will be positive, but I just don't like having an ending balance of negative. If I overspent somewhere, I need to find a way to pay for it within that same month. Everybody kind of uses sinking funds differently, and for me, there's a lot of categories in here that may be considered more of a digital cash envelope style. I don't get too hung up on the name of it. I just like having them all in one, and that if I have anything left over, then it gets rolled to the new month. So to start off, we have our Amazon Prime account, which is $11, which will be due in September, but we just save each month for it. And our auto insurance is $170, which is due in July, August, and January. So January and July are for our vehicles. I have a Toyota RAV4, and then Matt has a Dodge Ram. And in August is our yearly dues for our motorcycle insurance. We each have one. For auto maintenance, we are adding $50 for the month. In our beauty category, we are adding $130. Car tabs, we are adding $20. Clothes, we each get $50. For Costco, we are putting $10. This is for our executive membership, and I've mentioned this before, but we do get the cash back, but sometimes I forget to use it towards the membership. And so then we'll still have this sinking fund to cover the membership when it comes due. For dogs, we are adding 150. Electric, we are adding 90. I like to put electric in our sinking fund so that I can average it through the year. So for instance, in June, we've already got the bill and it's only $64 for the month. But then all that extra can roll over into the summer months when we're going to be using the AC a lot to keep the house cool for the dogs, or in the winter when we have to keep the house warm for the dogs. I mean, for us too, but we like to take care of the puppers. And then for entertainment, we are adding $50. For fitness and furniture, we are not adding anything in this month. We are increasing our gas budget to $250 because last month I think we were right around $250. Gas prices are going up. Also, we are going to do a bicycle trail, and the start of it is about 70 miles each way. So increasing that will help with that as well. For gifts, we are adding 46. For Christmas, we are adding 160. HOA, we are adding 15. For home extras, we are adding $50. And then home improvement, we are adding 100. Hunting and outdoors, we are adding 150. Medical, we are adding 50. Office and supplies, our office and books, we're adding 66. I still need to buy new ink. I haven't done that yet, but I was kind of waiting because I also need a new hard drive. I think I finally decided which one, and then once I purchase that, I can see how much is left. It hasn't warned me that I need new ink. I just don't have any backup, so as soon as it's out, and I hate running out of ink. For technology, we are adding 150. For vacation, we are adding 90, which we will definitely need to add extra to this. I want to pay the remaining for our Vegas trip. My sister-in-law had booked the Airbnb. She booked the car through Turo, and then we are doing the Saw escape room. So she had also booked that. All we did was book the flight, and she's already paid us for the flight, so now I need to pay her for the remaining of all of this. I think we're short like $85, which I'm fairly confident in my first check we'll be able to take care of. And then for water, that is $18. That is billed quarterly, so I think, yeah, the next one will be in July. So then if you add all of that up, it comes out to $1,926. And so that makes up what is our sinking funds over here on our June budget. So that's how I break it out. And I like having a lot of categories to make sure that everything is covered. So when we first started budgeting last year in the beginning of 2020, I wasn't able to add a lot in the first few categories. And even now, sometimes we're not able to fund some of them, as you can see right here. So if you're just starting out, don't be overwhelmed by how many sinking funds I have. I have a lot, and sometimes people like to have a more generalized categories. Like I could definitely combine auto insurance and auto maintenance if I had wanted to, along with car tabs. Like I could just have a car fund, and kind of whatever works for you. I'm just here to share how we do our budget, and if you take anything from it, that's great. If you just like following along, I appreciate it. I'm really excited about our July trip in Vegas, so that's why I'm really focused on getting that vacation bumped up. And then for our July budget, we'll definitely be adding more to cover food and any other activities that we might do while we're down there. We are there for a wedding, so that takes up one evening let me know in the comments if you guys are traveling anywhere. I'd love to know where you guys are heading, what you guys are doing this summer. And I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!